If you want to know what my trip to India was like, you have come to the right place.
It's time to spend some time with Rick.
A lot of you beautiful, stupid babies have asked me, ever since you found out that I did make a trip to India, many questions. My hope is this video will answer the majority of those questions for you. A lot of you just simply want to know, Rick, how the heck was your first trip to India? Yes, lots of pictures were taken. Yes, lots of video was taken. But I won't ever post any of those from this trip. Every other trip I ever take to India, absolutely open book, what you would expect. From airport to airport, I will be sharing much of it in vlog style. Not this trip, which is basically the first question, the why was this kept secret? And there's been quite a few people, I'm not gonna refer to them as stupid babies, I'm just gonna refer to them as stupid, who have made judgmental, condemning, presupposed statements about why this was kept secret. Everything from the reason that I've asked people to support me on Patreon is so that I could take the money from people to fund all my trips to India.
Show me the money.
A lot of ugly, nasty stuff.
That's shocking.
Thankfully, 97% of the comments have been nothing but love and support and wonderful. But there's a few idiots who have made some really nasty comments.
Oh, you suck!
Most of which I don't even respond to.
In your face, loser!
And I kept it secret for this reason. I made public the stuff about Indrani and I only within time frames that were comfortable and approved of by my kids. Why would I let you all know I'm coming to India to see the love of my life when my kids and I and Indrani haven't reached a place where we're all in unison about it being made public?
Also,
for the entire history of our relationship, this would be the only time we get to have a trip together in India, in her home city, that was private. This is the first time she and I are going to be physically present with one another. First time I see her face that isn't happening through a screen. First time I get to hold her hand. Wanted that to be kept private. So that's why this was a secret trip. This was just for me and Indrani. And it was the only time we really felt that we'd ever be able to do this, because she, like me, wants things to be shared with the stupid family and it kind of sucked. Indrani even said, babe, are you sure you don't want to let people know you're coming and do a meet and greet with some of the stupid babies? And I said, yeah, this is our trip. This one's for us. Will your next trip be secret too? No. Corbin and I, as you've heard, are going to be coming in March for Holi. That will be our first time to come together, and we are hoping that everybody can come. I mean, I'm really hoping we can get Ashley, Alexis, and Micah to come, and she who shall not be named. I don't know about baby Miles, we'll see, but Corbin and I are definitely coming in March. I will be coming back to Calcutta probably a few times before then. First of all, because I can find flights through Expedia for really inexpensive, shockingly inexpensive. I can find flights, if I get them far enough in advance, I can find flights for in between $488 and $600 max, round trip.
Say what?
That's round trip.
That's crazy talk.
So you all are gonna know about it. I'm gonna vlog from airport going back. A lot of that's gonna be shared. You'll see the streets of Calcutta, the streets and the experiences, and I'm gonna share that with you. I want to, I ache. It was hard not to do that on this trip because I want so much to share this with you. But, and I'll let you know in advance when those next trips are gonna happen. The trip itself, I did not know that in order to travel to India, I would need anything more than my passport. For those of you who don't know this, you also need something called an e-visa. You know when I found out? The night I showed up to China Eastern Airlines to get on my plane.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I showed up to get on my plane to go see Indrani with a very specific schedule in mind. And when I got up there, the lady at the counter said, passport, showed her my passport, and she said, e-visa, and I gave her my debit card. She said, no, your e-visa. I said, that's the visa I used to book the flight. She said, no. Your e-visa that goes with that lets you get into the country. I said, what's an e-visa? The next 2 hours were spent at the airport panicking, finding out what an e-visa was, thinking to myself, how long is it going to take to get an e-visa? And I said to the girl behind the counter, I said, are you telling me I'm not getting on this plane tonight?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
And I didn't get on that plane that night. What I wound up having to do was, in addition to the flight I already paid for, was I had to change my flight to the next day. So I lost a day with Indrani. And I also had to pay a ridiculously exorbitant amount that I hadn't budgeted for to have my e-visa expedited. I thought, okay, I lost a day. I then had to get on the phone and video, and there's my sweet Indrani thinking I'm gonna show her me getting on the plane, and here I am telling her I'm not, and we've just lost a day. So the next day, I get up, and at the same time, 11 o'clock at night, I go to the airport, but I still don't have the e-visa because that stupid company did not fulfill and come through with the 5-hour time frame in time.
Are you kidding me?
They told me I'd have it the following morning when I woke up. I didn't. They told me I'd have it at 7 p.m. when I got to LAX. My flight was taking off at 1 in the morning. I didn't. Then they ignored me. They wouldn't respond to my calls. They wouldn't respond to my comments on their website. They wouldn't respond to my email.
Bastard. Bastard.
And yes, second night in a row, I missed my flight. Lost another day with Indrani. Had to pay for another flight change to go the next day. At this point, let's say the stress level was pretty high. I also had to call Indrani one more time and say, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I'm not getting on the plane. Third day, so now my 6-day trip is turning into a 3-day trip with Indrani. They finally get me the e-visa. I'm able to get onto the flights. So yeah, 2 nights in a row was told I can't get on the plane, and finally got on night number 3, had to pay for flight changes, had to pay for e-visa expedition. It sucked, but it was worth it to finally get there. How did I like Calcutta? The rhythms of the city remind me a lot of Manhattan. It's very fast-paced, it's very quick, there's an energy to the city, it doesn't sleep at night, horn honking, people driving, going all over the place. It's very different in terms of its culture and its aesthetic when you look at it, because Manhattan is obviously a skyrise city, and the predominant look of the city is very lights and high fashion, and it's definitively American in that regard, but the energy, it reminds me a lot. Calcutta reminds me a lot of Manhattan. And the roads, man, people in LA think we have traffic. We do, we have a lot of cars that will sit and not go anywhere. In Calcutta, you have the same amount of cars, and they're flying, and there are no lanes. They're just if you cross the street, hold on. It is absolutely crazy. And that was one of my favorite things, was to experience that energy. As well as it's funny, when we had the food tasting video and Corbin had us drink chai, I hadn't yet shared that I'd made the trip, and I couldn't help it. I drank that chai and I'm like, no, that's not even close, because at that point I had many times with Indrani legit chai on the streets.
Wait a minute. I thought he wasn't going to show us any footage of Calcutta.
Don't hold that, don't hold that, don't hold that.
it's hot.
It's hot.
So delicious. I completely understand why you would drink that 10, 15 times a day, which Indrani and I did. We drank tea all the time whenever there was a tea thing. You want to stop? Heck yeah, I want to stop, and we would get that. Loved Calcutta. Loved the chai in the streets. Went to many different places. My favorite thing that we ate was Bengali food, and it was specifically this flatbread and mutton that was the flatbread is luchi, and the mutton is mangsho, and you put the mangsho in the luchi and you dip it. And
Bengali luchi mangsho, which means luchi, that kind of flatbread, and mutton, goat meat, since we don't have like beef often in restaurants. So I'm guessing Rick likes it.
incredible. My favorite flavors that we've had so far. The flavors, I said to Indrani when she gave it to me, because it was toward the end of the trip, I said, this is by far my favorite tasting thing that you have given me to eat right here, is that. We also had momos, pork momos to be specific. I know many of you were thinking it would be fish because Bengalis eat so much fish, but they were pork momos, they were delicious. But the Bengali food with a drink that was made of roasted raw mango juice, that if I pronounce it correctly, I hope I do, the drink is called...
Thank you. And here's the drink. Dried mango juice with some masala.
Ampor Ashobot. You Bengalis will give me a thumbs up, as will Indrani. She'll let me know if I said that right. Speaking of saying things, no. The reason I can say things in Hindi so well has nothing to do with my connection with Indrani. Here's why. When Corbin and I film our reactions, we film our reactions in the now. I don't know what we're reacting to until we're filming. So we sit down and I say, what are we doing today? He says, we're gonna react to a trailer, a song, whatever it is. I don't know what it is until we do it, which means I also don't know what the words are until he says them and shows them to me. We don't stop camera and I call Indrani and say, here's the Hindi thing, how do I pronounce it? I just say it. My favorite part of the trip was obviously seeing Indrani. But there were also aspects of really loving the fact that I was in India for the first time. I love that I got recognized. The first place I got recognized actually was in China. I'm going through customs in Shanghai, transferring from one airport to the next, and to my left, I hear this lady's voice, a girl, she was in her 20s, I think. She says, excuse me. I turn and look at her, and clearly I can tell she's Indian. And she says these words, she says, are you that great YouTuber, Rick Siegel? I said, yes. Feeling a bit sheepish over the fact she said, are you that great YouTuber? But she was so sweet. And she happened to be going to Calcutta at the time. And then when we were in Calcutta, there were several people who recognized me, a couple of which wanted to take pictures. Bless their hearts, the two different guys on two different occasions who wanted to take pictures, their cameras weren't working right and their hands were literally shaking to take the picture. They were so sweet and so precious. And then there were these two guys in Calcutta one night who wanted to take a picture in the middle of this area where people were playing chess and drinking chai. And they tagged me and posted it onto Instagram. And I think several of you saw that immediately. Show you what a small world we live in with technology. Oh my goodness. We take that picture. Now at the time, Corbin and Stephanie were in Maui, taking what they called their baby moon, their little trip away before they had their baby. That picture's taken of Indrani and I in Calcutta. Within 3 minutes of the picture being taken, we're walking away from where we were with those guys. I get a text from Corbin. It's that picture that guy just took, and Corbin says, they know, LOL. That picture was instantly up. That was taken in Calcutta. Corbin in Maui saw it, and the stupid babies around the world began to see and think, was this photoshopped? Is Rick really in Calcutta? Is Rick really in India? The being recognized aspect was very cool, as was, I got a lot of stares from people because it's just not common to see an American guy walking around the streets of Calcutta, which is my least favorite part of the trip. there were several occasions where some men were definitively rude. If they had been that way here in LA, I would have responded to it the way I normally would. But because when I'm in a foreign country or a foreign place and I am the guest, I always defer toward being a little bit more reserved, not as outgoing. I don't want to attract attention. I don't want to be brash or rude in any way, so that even, for example, we went to get some chai and the guy poured a chai for Indrani and set it down for her. Right in front of her, we're standing like this and set down the chai. And this other man who had walked up just a few moments before that, we'd been there for a while. This guy walks up, he sets the chai there, and this guy right in front of Indrani takes the tea from her and drinks it and doesn't even give us the time of day. If that had happened in LA, I would have said, dude, that was for her. In India, I just looked at Indrani and she went, and I took her lead on that. She was like, it's not worth it, no. But that was my least favorite part. It didn't happen a lot, but it happened enough that that was my least favorite part of the trip. Loved being there. It was neat. It was really hard not to share it with you guys, really hard. But again, special personal trip. I hope that answers questions for you. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer, please put them in the comments here and I'll do my best. And I hope this was informative and helpful. It's quite long. It's just me sitting in a park and talking, but I care about you guys and I'm very, very grateful. The extraordinary amount of support that's coming from you guys about Indrani and I. And I'm astonished. If you look at the videos, our story video, which was the recording of our Instagram live, in 3 days hit 100,000 views. That's unprecedented for my personal YouTube channel. I have 15,000 subscribers right now, Stupid Baby's on here. That means that it's being shared and we're seeing messages nonstop from people saying, above all else, this is the one that means the most to me, saying, you're making us believe that true love exists. You make me believe that real love can happen. Yeah, what we're experiencing is unlike anything either one of us have ever knew could be possible, and we've consistently said this is like out of a movie. This is what poets write about, and really grateful for your guys' rooting for us and your messages of encouragement. Love you, and on this next trip that I take, that I will let you know is happening, I can't wait to share everything with you, vlogging the trip, and letting all of you know in advance so that I can see you and have time with you in person. Okay? Okay, that's it. I'm done. That's what I'm sharing with you about my trip to India. Love you guys, and namaste, and I'll see you the next time I'm there.
For all of us at CBS News all around the world, goodbye and good luck.